What's going on, guys? My name is Ravi Abuvala, founder of scalingwithsystems.com. And no, I'm not going to ask you to come to some seminar before I give you all the good stuff. In this video, I'm going to be walking through the exact steps that you should be taking as a real estate investor or as people who service real estate investors in order to generate more leads for your company, close more deal, and take home more cash at the end of the day. So as some of you may know, I've built a lot of my career and my businesses around servicing the real estate industry. And that's naturally where we started going to when we started scaling with systems, was helping real estate investors and agents close more deals. Now, one of the biggest issues that I see systemically, honestly, in businesses all across the world, but more specifically in real estate investing and residential real estate, is the lack of consistent lead generation. And the reason that is because there's so much admin and paperwork and noise and day-to-day driving, listing, showing, property evaluations, et cetera, that goes on in your industry, that it's almost impossible to expect someone to be able to do all of that and do consistent lead generation every single day. However, you may know just as well as I do that there's no way you're going to be able to actually scale up your business or your company without that predictable and consistent lead generation. So what's the solution? We actually recommend our clients to hire a virtual assistant. That's what we do for our clients at Scaling with Systems. We give them fully trained virtual assistants. And what those virtual assistants can do for you is they can take over that day-to-day lead generation process, and you can hire commission-based employees in order to actually close the deals. So if you're a real estate investor or an agent and you're doing 1 to 2 deals a month, it's now time for you to start scaling up, because you'll have a proven process at that point. You know something that works and you've proven that you can do it in your industry. And so now what you need to do is actually remove yourself and hire other people in your place. So the 2 people that we recommend to hire first are going to be a virtual assistant. It's a very easy hire, very, very low cost, as well as incredible output that they can do for you. And then a commission-based employee that can actually be kind of your acquisition deal, and they can go out and close those deals in person for you. So the first thing you're gonna want your virtual assistant to do for you in your real estate investing business is start scraping data and lists. If you're a real estate wholesaler or a real estate investor, you know how important the actual quality of that original list that you're doing direct mail campaigns, cold calls, or voicemail drops to is. So it's incredibly critical that you get that right from the beginning. I'm not going to go too deep into this video here on different list source possibilities, but inside Scaling with Systems, some of the places that we do recommend our clients going is having the virtual assistants actually call county and public records in order to get those lists of absentee owners or high equity. And another really great software tool that we recommend using is something called RedX, which will not only give you addresses, but also phone numbers that your virtual assistant can call those people and pre-qualify them for your commission-based employee to go close the deal. Okay, so once we have an incredibly clean and both segmented list of target prospects, so you wanna make sure you have your absentee owners in one list, you wanna make sure you have your high equity owners in another list, tax delinquent in another list, so you can customize those messages for all of them, you'll have a higher response rate. Then we're gonna get into I'd say the powerhouse, the workhorse of real estate investing, and that's direct mail campaigns. Once again, there's hundreds of direct mail campaigns out there and direct mail companies out there that you can use. We've used Info USA, or have our clients use Info USA for some of the stuff that they do. But what you can now do is have your virtual assistants take those segmented lists and upload them into segmented campaigns for a direct mail company to send those out to those homeowners in order to elicit a response. What you'll notice a lot of times, the first time you enter into a market with a direct mail campaign, you're gonna get a really high response rates in the beginning, but it's most likely to be negative response rate, asking for people to take you off their list. All of these inbound phone calls that are coming in should not, once again, be up to you as a real estate investor or wholesaler. It's not worth your time. You could very easily have a virtual assistant overseas be the one taking all of these inbound calls. We use a software called Ring Central in order for them to take the inbound calls and inbound text messages so that they can both pre-qualify people, and also if people are just calling to be asked to take it off their list, they can take it off their list and it's not even worth bothering you for your time. In addition to the direct mail campaign, what we like to do to kind of spice it up and add a little more effectiveness is hit cross-channel communication. So we'll also, if you use a software like RedX, you can get phone numbers. We'll also have the virtual assistant call them within 3 to 5 days of doing the direct mail campaign and confirming that they got the the direct mail campaign, and if they did or didn't, try to pre-qualify them on that call. We also have the virtual assistant send out voicemail drops using a software called Sly Broadcast. Once again, to do the exact same thing, try to pre-qualify them and get them a call back. And then finally, what a lot of people don't realize you can do as well is take those names and phone numbers, or even if you somehow found their email address as well, and upload those as to custom audiences inside of Google Display Network or Facebook ads. And then you can also follow these people for dollars a day around the entire internet. And the third and final way you should be using virtual assistants as a real estate investor is to handle inbound response. So if you remember in the beginning of this video, we talked about two types of employees you should be hiring. That's going to be a commission-based employee. That's going to be your boots on the ground in order to close a deal. And then it's that virtual assistant. Now, the boots on the ground commission-based employee should not be handling inbound lead response. You shouldn't be handling inbound lead response. It's not worth your time. Instead, you train a virtual assistant, or you work with a company like us at Scaling with Systems, which gives you pre-trained virtual assistants who can speak to the prospects and pre-qualify them and make sure that it's worth the commission-based employee's time in order to go out there and actually close that deal. So they can figure out your qualifying questions and make sure that they're actually distressed and they're actually looking to move forward now, before you had to set a time in the calendar for your commission-based employee to go out there and close it. This is when it becomes really incredibly efficient to have a really strong CRM, and you can have your virtual assistant focusing on one aspect of the CRM, which is going to be all your outbound prospects that don't even know who you are yet, and then you have your commission-based employees working on another part of the CRM that are the people that have responded and that have been pre-qualified. So we don't like to keep, I see a lot of real estate investors and agents keeping both of those in the same, essentially, CRM, in the same tab and the same view, and it clutters everything up. You should separate it by people that don't know who you are and then people that are qualified and know who you are, so you can make sure that each person, each employee is focusing on the right segment of people. So there you have it. In order to use a virtual assistant correctly as a real estate investor or a wholesaler, you should be having them scrape and find quality data leads using multiple different websites like RedX or County and Public Records. You should have them send direct mail campaigns for you. In addition to that, follow up those direct mail campaigns with voicemail drops, cold calls, and or Facebook ads and Google Display Network retargeting. And finally, what you want to do is actually have the virtual assistant handle the inbound leads that are coming in from those direct mail campaigns, from the Facebook and Google ads, and from the cold calls, so that you're able to make sure that your commission-based employees' time is only spent going out and closing deals for you. This is going to make your company or your system incredibly more profitable, way more scalable, and it's going to remove you from the process so that you don't have to spend 18, 20 hours a day trying to create a successful real estate investor or wholesale company. So now you know exactly what to do when you have a virtual assistant to help them scale your real estate investor or wholesale business. But do you know where to find a virtual assistant? I want to invite you to click the link in the description down below, and you're actually going to get access to a free course that I put together that's going to cover exactly where we find our virtual assistants from, what technology and softwares we use to make them more efficient, and how we use them to scale up to a 20 to 30 person virtual assistant team so that you can have a lead generation machine going on 24 hours a day. Finally, if you got any value out of this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below any additional questions you have. Thanks, guys.